We'll move on to the personal history of the patient. Here, the patient's sleeping pattern is 6 hours per day, and the exercise pattern is there. He is not at all doing any exercises. Hepatitis is normal. The diet pattern is 3 meals per day. The hobbies are watching TV. The habits no, and the hygiene is normal. And then the next one is dressing is normal, and the personality is thin, and allergies, there is no allergies has been presented. Then we'll move on to the socio-economic history. Here the monthly income of the family is 60,000 per month, and the breadwinner of the family is a father and the grandfather, because a grandfather also is getting pension and all. Then the financial status is good, and the type of house is pakka house, and the house is own house, and facilities also good, like all ventilation, electricity, drainage, lighting, water, all the facilities also good. Then the perinatal history. Under the perinatal history, prenatal and intranatal and postnatal and immunization, like during pregnancy, yes, he an immunization has there. Then the radiation or intake of any drug during pregnancy means the mother has not exposure to any radiation during the pregnancy, even she has not taken any medications or drugs during the pregnancy. Then intranatal history, the mode of delivery is the cesarean section, and the birth weight of the baby is 2.8 kgs. Then the postnatal history is the baby has developed good milestones. Then the childhood history is breastfeeding at the birth, and age of weaning 6 months, and history of maternal deprivations, there is no maternal deprivations has been presented. And then the developmental milestones also good, and the age of toilet training at the 20 months of age, and the childhood problems, the he used to have patient, client has started his symptoms when he was in the childhood. He used to feel shy to talk with other people. Okay, always used to, when he will go out, when the friends comes during the play and all, so he used to feel shy. Then the play history, kind of play is rumble pair, like a pair, pure relationship with the play is he used to have a poor relationship with the peer group members, like friends and all. Then the comes to the educational history and all, he is average in the academics, and the menstrual and obstetrical history is menarche at the age of 13 years. Then the menstrual cycle is 28 days. Then the next one is occupational history. He is still a student. She is still student. And sexual and marital history, she is not at all married. The premorbid, premorbid personality. Here comes premorbid personality. The interpersonal relationship, she is not having any interpersonal relationship. Use of leisure time, she used to watch TV. Predominant mood is moody always. Then the attitude towards self and others, sometimes she used to feel abnormal. Then the attitude to work and responsibilities, like she feels to study and she feels to good marks, but she unable. And the religious beliefs and the moral attitudes, yes, she used to believe God. The fantasy lives no, habits no. Then the coping with stressful events, she is not at all not able to cope up with the stressful situations or stressful events even. Okay, then we'll move on to the physical examinations of the Miss Sridevi. Okay, here the physical examinations are like the general appearance of the patient. The consciousness is she is completely confused, and body build is thin, and the orientation is she is unable to orient it to the place and all. Then the expressions are dull. The vital signs are temperature is 99 degree Fahrenheit, and the pulse is 10 beats per minute, because she had a palpitations, and respiration is 22 beats per minute. The blood pressure is 130 by 80 mm of Hg. Then we'll move on to the anthropometric measurements. The height of the client is 150 centimeters. The weight of the client is 35 kgs. The integumentary system skin color is white, texture is dry, and there is no lesions has been present. Rashes also absent. The hair and scalp distributed equally, and the thickness is normal, and the scalp is black. And next we'll move on to the eyes of the nails, nail palette and textural color is white color, nail palette texture also normal. Then eyes visual activity normal, and position and alignment good, and the eyebrows equally distributed, and the next pupils equally reacting to the light. Then the ear, there is no discharges has been presented, hearing also normal, and there is no other abnormalities. Then we'll move on to the nose. There is no infections or any discharges from the nose. Nostrils also equally distributed. Mouth and pharynx are lips are dry, and teeth alignment is good. Then the tonsils not found. Then the neck lymph node is palpable lymph node, not palpable. Then the carotid pulse is normal, and thyroid gland also normal. Then we will move on to the systemic examinations. Under the systemic examinations, like the first system is like exposure respiratory system. The respiratory system, like lung sounds are normal. The respiratory rate is 22 beats per minute. Any abnormality, sometimes she will feel her tachypnea, like abnormal breathing, like she increased respiration rate when she feels anxious, when she speaks with other people, like when she wants to communicate with society or friends or any other relatives and all. So at those times she feel like increased heart rate, okay, tachypnea. And the cardiovascular system is heart sounds are here, S1 S2 sounds are here, and the heart rate is 108 beats per minute, because she also have a tachycardia, increased heart rate. Okay, gastrointestinal system, under that inspection of the abdomen skin changes are no, symmetrically abdomen was present, and no palpable mass has been present, and the auscultation increased bowel and bladder sounds, because urinary urgency has been present. The percussion, there is no fluid accumulation in the abdomen. Okay, then we'll move on to the musculoskeletal system. Under posture and gait is unsteady posture and gait, and the range of motion abnormal, because she is always having the muscle tension and all. Okay, then the genitourinary system is, the patient is having genitourinary dysuria absent, polyuria present, increased urination because urinary urgency, oliguria also absent. Then the reproductive system, there is no abnormalities has been found in the reproductive system. Then we'll move on to the neurological system. Under the neurological system, mental status of the patient is always confused state, and conscious also confused, and the central nervous system also there are some slight abnormal changes, because she always feels anxious and all. Then the memory also impaired. Then the balance also, she is not having coordination, all the reflexes also like abnormal. Okay, then next we'll move on to the, after the systemic examinations, we'll move on to the mental health assessment. Here the mental health assessment, like mental health assessment. Under the mental health assessment, we need to check all the history of the mental status of the patient, like all the attention, judgment, speech, cognition and all. Okay, mental health assessment. Here the first will check the general appearance of the client. The general appearance of the client is body build is moderate. The physical appearance is always moody, dull, sad. She is not at all comfortable. Grooming also, it's grooming also moderate, and self-care deficit, and facial expressions dull, and attitude towards the examiner is irritable always. When we ask questions also, she unable to like give the answers while process recording and all. The comprehension also impaired. The gait and posture unsteady gait, because muscle tension, posture also muscle movements, motor activity abnormal, rapid impaired, hallucinatory behaviors are present. Yes, she had a hallucinatory behaviors. The speech comes to the speech here, the rate and quality of speech is here, like rate of the speech is slurred speech she's had, and volume of speech is decreased, and rhythm of speech is hesitated, tangentiality when she feels anxious. Okay, then mood and affect. Here the mood and affect subjectively, when I ask the patients how are you feeling right now, the patient has given, the client has given reply, I'm not at all feeling, I'm feeling anxious, I am unable to speak with any other people, and I feel scared. If I'll want to speak any other people, I'll feel embarrassed, and I'll have like diarrhea and urinary urgency and all. So inference is inappropriate inference. Then the perception of the client is hallucination, is visual hallucination has been presented, and misinterpretation presented, because misinterpretation also presented, depersonalization, derealization also present. So okay, she altered identification of the client self, that is also presented in the perception. Next we'll move on to the thought. The stream and the form of the thought is poverty of speech, she unable to speak, and the content of the thought also, she always loosening the association and loosening the thinking ability, and preservations also has been presented in the thought. The cognition, the conscious is confused conscious, and orientation is a patient is like he's not at all oriented to the, he is only oriented to the family members, and he's she's oriented to the family members, and she's not oriented to the other relatives and all, and she's not at all oriented to the place, and she's not at all oriented to the time even. Then the attention is impaired, and concentration also impaired. Memory is memory, like intact memory, immediate memory is intact, and even recent memory also sometimes impaired, but remote memory completely impaired. The intelligence, she is having moderate retardation. Okay, moderate retardation. The abstract thinking is proverb testing and all, impaired. And similarities, when I ask the patients to can you tell me the differentiations between the potato and the cauliflower, she unable to answer that. Similarities, dissimilarities also impaired. The insight of the condition, like patient's condition, she is unable to aware of the patient illness, but sometimes she says that I'm having anxious, unable to speak, only the reason she is giving, even causes, treatment, whichever we are providing, she is unaware. Then the grade 2 insight, the judgment is completely impaired. Okay, she unable to take any decisions. Okay, then the investigations, then we'll move on to the investigations. Okay, here the investigations are like when the patient is admitted in the hospital, psychiatric hospital, on the day of the admission, as a nurse have collected, we have collected history from the client, and the physical examinations we have done, and complete mental health status assessment, or mental health assessment or mental status examinations also completed on the day of admission, 16th February 2020. So here, after collecting the history, after done the physical examination, and after completion of mental status examinations, we have found there are many abnormal changes, abnormal findings we have found. Then the next day, the 17th February 2020, we have sent some laboratory diagnosis, like complete blood picture and urine analysis, because she's always having urine urgency, urine analysis, and even ECG, because she's having heart rate increased, ECG. And by the next day also, we have taken the patients for MRI, and even CT scan, and even like a CT scan, EEG also. So these all the investigations we have done to the patient based on the dates. And even we have found some slight changes in the ECG, we have found changes in the MRI, CT scan also. So abnormal findings has been found. So after taking the history, after doing of physical examination, mental status examination, and even after the result of all the investigations, even the doctor Catherine also have confirmed the diagnosis as phobic anxiety disorder, that is completely social phobia, because she is unable to communicate with other people, she is unable to speak with other people, and she feels always anxious, she feels always urinary urgency, she is having diarrhea and all if she speaks with others. Okay, that is the complete investigations of the patient. And then we'll move on to the medication. What are the medications we can provide for the phobic anxiety disorder patient? So First we'll prefer anti-anxiety drugs or anxiolytics drugs. Okay, that is the like benzodiazepines. Mostly nowadays we'll use these benzodiazepines. Okay, these are the primary treatment for the anti-anxiety means anxiety patients. Okay, the first one is injection diazepam, that is 2 to 10 mg per day, like intramuscularly we need to give, that is once in a day. Then injection lorazepam, that is 2 to 6 mg per day and intravenous and once in a day. Tablet clonazepam, that is 0.5 to 20 mg oral and 2 times in a day BD. Okay, these are the anti-anxiety drugs, and the action of these drugs are it is increases the GABA levels in the central nervous system. What are the side effects for anti-anxiety drugs are like nausea, vomiting, vertigo, weakness, dry mouth and all. Then what are the contraindications when the patient is having depression and when the patient is completely alcoholic? Those times we are not supposed to administer, or we are not supposed to advise the patient to take these medications. What is the nurse's responsibilities here comes? We need to assess, as a nurse we need to assess the patient level of condition, and we need to administer the medications like with the food, because we should because when before the food, if we will admit, there is a irritation in the gastric mucosa, so that is the way to prevent that gastric irritation and all, we need to administer these medications along with the food. Then IM, IV, when we are giving, we need to give slow administration. Then we'll move on to the next medication is antidepressants, because even the patient is having self isolation, she is unable to speak, she feels embarrassment. Okay, she don't have communication skills. Okay, she always feels depressed, she always feels fear and also antidepressants also we can provide. That one is tablet is imipramine, like 75 to 30 300 mg oral BD, and the tablet sertraline like 50 to 20 200 mg oral, and these also 2 times in a day BD. Okay, these antidepressants drugs which increases the catecholamine levels in the brain. What are the side effects? There is autonomic effects are there, central nervous system effects are there, cardiac effects are there, allergies are there, endocrine effects also there. So breastfeeding pregnancy mother should not take. And the nurse's responsibilities, always we need to assess the patient's condition, and we should not advise the patient to take OTC medications, and we need to strict monitoring of vitals, and we need to check the input and output, because already patient is having urinary urgency as well as the diarrhea also, so you need to monitor the intake and output also. Okay, we need to check the vitals strictly, because palpitations has been presented and the patient is having increased respiratory rate also, so we need to monitor the vitals also. Like next we'll move on to the like disease condition of the patient. Okay, here the patient condition is phobic anxiety disorder, that is especially social phobia. The first we'll move on to the what do you mean by phobic anxiety. Anxiety means what do you mean by anxiety here? Okay, here the anxiety is, it is a normal phenomenon. Anxiety is a normal phenomenon which is characterized by a state of apprehension or uneasiness arising out of anticipation of danger. So, a phobia is unreasonable fear of a specific object, activity, or situation. This irrational fear is characterized by various features. Okay, like disproportion to the circumstances that precipitate it cannot be like dealt with by reasoning or controlled through willpower. The individual avoids the feared object or situation. Okay, again the phobia is divided into, there are the agoraphobia, social phobia, specific phobia, other phobic anxiety disorders. Phobic anxiety disorders are unspecified. There are the types of phobias also there. So here the patient is having, like these are the types of phobias based on the book picture. When it comes to the patient picture, like the phobia is social phobia, the patient is having social phobia. The incidence of these phobias common in childhood by early teenage. Most of these fears are lost, but a few persist till adult life. Okay, so my patient is the adult patient, so it persisted from the birth to till adulthood, it persisted. Okay, so even the patient having a social phobia. And next etiological factors of phobic anxiety disorders are like psychodynamic theory and learning theory, cognitive theory. These are the these may be included. These may be factors which may affect to the phobic anxiety, which may leads to the phobic anxiety disorders. Okay, here like patient is having, like here the book picture, under the book picture, psychoanalytic theory and learning theory and cognitive theory, like anxiety with repression, secondary defense mechanism with ego, stressful stimulus, like faulty cognitions, negative thinking and irrational thinking and all. These are the based on the book picture. What is the patient picture is the my patient Miss Sridevi is having faulty cognitions and she's having negative thinking and she's having irrational thinking also. Then we'll move on to the signs and symptoms of the uh, some signs and symptoms of the phobic anxiety disorder. Okay, here comes to the book picture: hyperventilation, sweating and cold hands, palpitations, confusion and gastrointestinal tract symptoms like diarrhea and all, vomiting and all, and trembling hands or voice and urinary urgency, muscle tension, anxiety and fear, and anxiety and fear. These are all the based on the book picture of the phobic anxiety disorder. Even my client Miss Sridevi is having sweating, excessive sweating and cold hands and palpitations, and she's having confusion, she's having diarrhea, and she's having increased urination, and she's having muscle tension, and she's having anxiety and embarrassment when she communicate with other people. Then the diagnostic studies based on the book picture is she may confirmed diagnosis is done by the ICD-10, and even we can by taking history, by taking physical examinations and by taking mental status examination also we can confirm the diagnosis, and even we can confirm the diagnosis based on the ICD-10 criteria. And even the patient picture, my patient has been confirmed with the phobic anxiety disorder, especially social phobia. So by how we have confirmed means, like after taking history collection, after completion of physical examination, mental health assessment and CBP, urine test, CT scan, MRI, EEG, ECG and all, we have confirmed as a phobic anxiety, that is social phobia. Then the management comes to the management. Here pharmacotherapy is the comes to the book picture: benzodiazepines, that is completely anti-anxiety drugs. The examples of drugs are alprazolam, clonazepam, lorazepam and diazepam. These are the benzodiazepines, means anti-anxiety drugs. Then the antidepressants drugs based on the book picture, for example, like imipramine, sertraline and phenalgine. Okay, then what are the medications my patient is taking? Miss Sridevi is taking benzodiazepines, that is diazepam and clonazepam, and antidepressants, that is imipramine and sertraline. Then even we can provide behavior therapy also based on the book picture. Behavior therapy like desensitization therapy, we need to, whichever the fear influencing objects we need to directly expose to the patient, that is comes under desensitization therapy. Guided imagery or medication in meditation imagery, and the assertive training, modeling behavior, cognitive behavioral techniques and all. Okay, and even we can provide the supportive therapy also. Then the what is the my patient have taking therapies are desensitization therapy, assertive training, modeling behavior and cognitive behavioral therapy also. Even patient is taking supportive therapy, psychotherapy from the therapist. Okay, then the comes to the nursing management. Here the nursing management is assessment parameters focuses on physical symptoms like precipitating factors, avoidance of behavior associated with phobia, and impact of anxiety on physical functioning, and normal coping ability, thought content and social support system. This is the nursing management. Even nursing diagnosis which are related, fear and anxiety is related to a specific stimulus or causing embarrassment to self in front of others, as evidenced by behavioral direct towards avoidance of the feared object or situation. Then second nursing diagnosis is social isolation, which is related to fear of being in a place from which one is unable to escape, as evidenced by staying alone or self-isolation. Okay, these are the nursing and nursing management or nursing diagnosis of the patient. Based on that we need to provide nursing care plan to the patient. Okay, then the diet plan for phobic anxiety patient. What is the diet? Social phobia, what is the diet? We need to advise the patient to eat a breakfast which includes some proteins, and we need to advise the patient client to eat complete carbohydrates, and we need to advise the patient to drink plenty of water, and we need to limit or avoid caffeine contain foods, and we need to pay attention to food sensitivities and encourage the patient to eat healthy and balanced meals. Okay, then the psychoeducation is like we can have a like cognitive behavioral, we can provide health education on behavioral therapy, because see, when a patient is wants to go for behavioral therapy, she doesn't know what is meant by behavioral therapy. So before that, we need to provide a psychoeducation on the behavioral therapy to the patient as well as the family members. Even we can provide health education on progressive muscle tension, like all the relaxation techniques, yoga, meditation, and all the breathing exercises we can provide. Even we can provide role playing on in guided imagery, and how can we provide assertive training and all, and what is how can we provide supportive therapy, modeling behavior, and all these all we can provide complete education to the patient as well as the family members also. Okay, then like theory application, here we can use some therapeutic techniques like using silence, and accepting self, and focusing recognition, offering humor, and all these all the therapeutic techniques we can use. And even the theory application, which theory we can apply for phobic anxiety disorder means like completely communication theory, interpersonal relationship theory we can apply, that is Pavlov's theory. These may improve the social interaction with other people, and it may facilitate the communication skills with other members also. Okay, now I am summarizing my case presentation. Like anxiety, it is a normal and often healthy emotions. However, when a person regularly feels disproportionate levels of anxiety, it might become a psychiatric disorder, which leads to excessive nervousness and fear, apprehension, and wormy and embarrassment, tension, and confusion. Okay, so even we can treat the anxiety by using all the therapies and all. We can treat that. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.